Hi, I'm Emily Blanchard, and I teach regular honors in AP US History in Chicago, Illinois. For my capstone this summer, I want to write a research paper on the development of gynecology as a field in the 1800s and tell the story that the speculum holds. Black women had a huge influence in the development of gynecology as a medical field because of medical experimentation, yet their experiences are almost absent from medical histories. My main research question is, how did the development of gynecology reflect the intersection of race, gender, and medical authority during the 1800s, and how did that shape medical practices in the 1900s? To put an original twist on this research paper, I want to tell the story through the lens of one invention and object, the speculum. Centering one object will allow me to spotlight the women whose bodies were treated as test subjects while exposing the institutions that enabled such violence. I want to conduct this research since through what I have discovered so far, the perspective and experiences of Black women are not vastly emphasized in the history of gynecology. The truth about the experience of Black enslaved women deserves to be highlighted and brought to the forefront for the purposes of racial justice in the field of medicine. Still today, many Black women have vastly different experiences with doctors than that of white women, especially when it comes to gynecological services. My working thesis statement is that gynecology as a medical field only developed when it did as a result of medical exploitation of Black enslaved women, rather than that of scientific or societal advancements. Black women's bodies were subject to non-consensual experimentation under the disguise of the scientific advancement of white doctors. The invention and use of the vaginal speculum by James Marion Sims exemplifies how race, gender, and medical authority intersected to legitimize systematic violence and assert white patriarchal dominance within the medical field. As a result of these developments in the mid-19th century, gynecology in the 20th century was defined by perpetual inequalities as a result. The secondary sources I have already looked at do not bridge medical history with Black women's history. Medical texts such as the History of Obstetrics and Gynecology conclude that gynecology developed as a field because of the Industrial Revolution, while a Black women's history of the United States mentions surgical abuses only briefly. These sources do not include the voices or perspectives of survivors. Because of this, I want to add to what is missing on the important subject by including as many primary sources as possible from the Black female perspective so that the research no longer erases them.